Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Happy birthday to Sagittarius is out here. All information to work with me one-on-one is below, as well as the extended version of this reading. That's the first link below for Patreon. I'm also going to be putting these videos on Patreon as well for the free subscribers who want to get to know the platform better, or just if you prefer it. My website, contact info, payment options, all below. I do astrology. I do astrology life coaching. I do tarot reading. I do Reiki. You can find that all on my website. And now let's get into your reading. Oh, first card out. The Sun. Exposure. Being exposed. That is annoying. Hold on one second. Being open. The sun is shining. It's your birthday. You want to be seen. You want to be recognized. You may start with recognizing yourself, recognizing your inner child, expressing yourself in ways in which you may need to in order to reconnect with yourself. This is a reconnection through purpose. This is also about a mothering figure in your life, or something that you've learned over a long period of time that's provided a lot of resources for you. There will be a part of you that wants to give more or be more giving this month in a way that may not be so generous to the quality of what you're giving. There's a lot of passion, there's a lot of fire, but that has all been behind, or possibly even brings up grief. This could be a grievance that you had with a parental figure, a dominant figure in your life. This is also about taking back your power around this grief, around these feelings, around how you can experience this while also experiencing the reignited, reconnective passions, the fire. Which is why whenever you feel as though you want to be overly generous, maybe stop. Whenever you're wanting to do so much or give so much of yourself or overpromise, you might want to stop. Maybe think, is this for validation? Is this for a part of me that I need actually to give to myself? Is this where I don't see that I need to pay attention to this area that wants to pay attention to everyone else? That kind of, you may do it, and then you realize during it that the quality of the connection shows you the answer for some of you out there. Reconnecting with yourself in this way that exposes maybe even parts of you that don't show up in such a great light in some ways, that come from not paying enough attention, not giving yourself enough in a certain area of your life. Sagittarius. This could be very important to your mental health at this time. And it's a foreshadowing. I was going to say premonition, but you may have them. But there's a foreshadowing. That's a foreshadowing, and why it may happen over and over again, especially if you're unsure, unclear of how you actually feel. What I'm saying is that you'll notice that once you make the decision to give or not give, to do or not do, whatever that is, you'll notice within that period if you really meant, or if it was coming from somewhere that you feel lacking. Finding out this information gives you a lot of energy. It gives you a lot of power. It makes you realize how much certain connections that didn't work, how much and what and who maybe and what you've been ignoring. It is when you then pay attention to where your maybe frustration or your demands come in. This also, for some of you, is igniting a huge purpose in your life. This expression, expressing yourself, is giving to the parts that you didn't give to before. And the energy that you receive from it is providing you with the information that you need. You may have thought you had control in some way, or something to do with what you've been ignoring. But it's possible that you just were looking for another way to integrate, but the only way is in. Because of this change of situation, or because of what's being ignited in you to create, it may cause you to notice some grief or how stuck you've been. And the very beautiful thing that you can do with Mercury in your sign is let that process through your mind in a way that it can then be contextualized, where it becomes something you learn, and seeing yourself as a person who can continue to learn regardless of your age. It makes you an even greater teacher if you're a teacher. And I'm also being annoyingly telling everyone they should write because it helps you think. It's possible that the way that you've been approaching processing, that has made it hard, or that has caused you to put a linchpin in something and then never find time to go back to it in a way that's actually positive and progressive for you. But now you're being met with that time because it is actually influencing your trajectory, maybe of your career, ideas, confidently moving forward with ideas, feeling capable and clear with these ideas, confident. If you've forgotten what it's like to feel like you have amazing ideas and to put something out there, just confidently approach it and realize that it's about what you think is cool. It's about what you think about yourself. Not that you don't know that. But that could be what this processing is all about, is adjusting the way you see yourself. And how that can even give you more vitality. Even if you have to own up to some things this month with yourself and with other people, with could be a motherly figure, a parent figure. All of this is for your mind and for the freedom even more to create and continue to experience this life in the way that you want to. And if you keep yourself in certain perimeters, then how do you then expand, right? The passion of a kid, but also the demanding of a mature person. Right, that is somewhat of the dream, right? This also a very mystical guidance where you get lucky, where things just come to you, where you decide on something, act on it, and then it happens. That is where the processing brings you. This idea that you have, even if you don't move entirely forward with it come January, It shows you your ability to create something, to bring an idea into a plan or into some kind of form. And you have to have confidence to do that. You have to have worthiness to do that. You have to believe that you can create something and feel so sure that you can and so confident that you just know and you keep going. Any questions you may have wanted some answers about at some point, they get answered. Your body may feel lighter. It's like the sun in Chariot, because it's the Leo and it's Cancer. It's like day and night. It's like day and night. That's what this month will feel like. It will feel like day and night. And knowing that they each come and they each go, and you can be sure about that. As long as the sun and the moon exist, as long as we're here, you can be sure the groundedness of all of this is that each one of them are going to exist. Now, the way that you help heal and support yourself now is by being charitable with your energy to yourself, while also putting energy where it needs to go in order for things to come into fruition. Normally when we're ready to handle something more or change direction or change course, there is a processing and a grounding and this almost still like moments that feel like waiting, but it's just the energy settling in. It's where you can question yourself. It's where you can, let me rewind that. It's where you can witness questioning yourself, witness the worry, witness the struggle, witness the inflow of doubt and certainty, right? And then you realize that the more power you give one, the less the other has, and vice versa. So more than anything, it's being sure about where you're going, about where you're putting your energy. It's not about being iffy right now just because the option's available. Grieving your old life for some of you may feel very separate from what is to come. But it's because when something ends, truly ends, and you know it's ending, for now, for this time, it's like when you know a relationship's over, you can feel it, you almost get way too attached to it, or you sense a change. Or you and yourself when you realize like, oh wow, but you don't realize how when you come to terms and accept that and move forward with it, even if emotions come out from the other person or yourself, it doesn't take long for time to pass to realize it's not that you've stopped thinking about that person in a short amount of time, but you see how when life changes in a certain direction, that sometimes, and I'm not calling people transactional, but sometimes people or situations are taking up the space for something else to then enter, or a bigger idea causes for a lot more energy of you. And you have to say no to certain things that you normally would say yes to, because you can trust more than ever that any opportunity, that's what this is like the end, what you realize is like any and all of your opportunities for change, for growth, for money, for love, you know that they'll come. Something becomes very clear to you that you know that they'll come. You know that each one of them are on their way. And you now need to get settled in realizing that that doesn't stop you from being confident That doesn't stop you from being more of who you are. Because there's a big thing that became clear to me. And as a Sag who normally has a lot of spirit and can go through ups and downs with that as well. In my opinion, anyone in this life that is trying to emotionally manipulate you, and maybe you're doing it too, so maybe this is for you, doesn't want to play on your emotions. That's not how they get answers out of you. That's not how you decide things. Some people want to cause perimeters where they're unnecessary because they want to break your spirit. All of this distraction, the illusion around us, as some may say, it becomes very apparent to you what's real to you and what real means. Quality, time, paying for that time, what that means. You get into more thought about this, and you realize that at the end of the month, what is worth your time and your energy and your care and your attention. Whether it's leaving a place or a relationship or a pattern within yourself, you feel yourself being like almost pulled more towards who you really are, who you know you are. And that energy becomes very secure within you. Because any person has to accept shit that they've done, shit that they haven't done. Really, that's all it is, right? And now you can move forward earnestly. Things come to fruition even more. Just setting a stage for a new foundation, for if a new partnership or, resurgence of a new partnership or redefining the relationship. Being able to express yourself, your needs, the support. Also, don't overlook anything that needs to be checked out, whether it's your heart, your stomach, your back, your chest, breasts. Don't overlook that. Health also shows up here. It's really important to be generous with your health, with those little intuitions, with those symbols that are showing you the way. And the worst thing you can do, Sag, is attack yourself, to have self-sabotaging behavior this month, even though it seems fun, but really it's like, oh no, that brings me to a place I have learned is not good for me in my life. And even though it's okay to experience some things, do you want to willingly put yourself in that position? It's time to end is what it's telling me. I'm gonna get a new light. Yeah. The quality of your mind, your time, how you addressed what you're processing is really important in sustaining your life moving forward. And although that can seem boring, there's a lot more adventure when you're more secure. Because then you get to choose and it's not a default. I'm not saying that you default, but we all do to some extent, right? This is a chance to rewire, restructure, shift. It's quick. Even though at times it feels like you're watching the time move. take those as moments of space and gratitude where you cannot think too much. And if you find yourself thinking too much, get in your body. Okay? If there is a Leo in your life or a Cancer in your life, it looks like a Leo shows up really strongly, providing some communication to you that is and fires you up somehow. Maybe not the best information about a Cancer in your life, perhaps. Maybe just be wary of gossip too and where that can bring you this month, but take the information with a grain of salt until you get grounded. If you react right away, you may react right away, but if you do, it just shows, what it shows you is where you're still hurt. And where some of your power comes from, unresolved pain. It's time to resolve this pain. It's time to face this pain, okay? It's only gonna make you better, I promise. And maybe it's a gift for yourself, right? Sometimes these things can be a gift. All right, Sag. This only makes you so much stronger too. I look forward to seeing you after we're through your birthday season and we're on to the new year. Boy, does it feel like a new year. Yay. All information to work with me is below. I'm excited to see you in the next part. Again, check that out on Patreon. We'll see you soon, Sag.